This is an Audio Wool original.
This episode of Frightday is brought to you by Gates of Hell Chipotle Hot Sauce by Frightday. Bold chipotle flavor blended with habanero peppers for just the right burn. Kissed with garlic and passion fruit. Zero human blood, like none at all. Visit shop.frightday.com before the first batch disappears.
Hey guys, thanks for listening. If you'd like to support us, go to patreon.com/frightday.
You know all that pain I've been having in my side?
Yeah?
I think it's pancreatitis.
Pancreatitis? Oh, I've had that one.
Pancreatitis.
It's pancreatitis. There's no N.
Pancreatitis.
Nope, it's pancreatitis because I've had it. I got it.
Deal with that.
It's not good. You definitely got to go to the doc. Yeah, it can get it can get fatal if you let it go.
It is Frightday. I'm your host, Byron. Life provides us with many opportunities to make tough choices. The direction of your career, to pursue passion or to sit in stability, whether or not to leave a relationship that's not working, speak up in the face of injustice, even the option to forgive someone who's wronged you, or to hold on to resentment. And while that's all difficult, nothing outdoes life and death decisions. We'll talk about that, faith, and melee weapon building tonight as we review M. Night Shyamalan's Knock at the Cabin. I'm joined tonight by Kelly.
Yellow.
And Sam can't make it because all of humanity has been judged.
Yeah, and he was judging.
Okay.
I felt very strongly that those two characters represented Sam and I.
Oh. Huh.
Very strongly.
Well, would you look at that? We'll talk about that here in a little bit.
Yeah.
But for now, lovely day outside. Happy spring.
Happy spring.
First one.
Spring is sprung. Byron, I left the house this weekend.
Proud of you.
And I went out.
Okay.
And there's this little bar that apparently has been open for almost 3 years, but I'd never been to before, and it was brand new to me.
Are you still having
It's this little speakeasy.
food delivered to you at your house?
No, we're not there.
Proud of you.
It's this little speakeasy, and you can only access it from the alley. Go downstairs.
Is this the ramen bar?
Nope, it's called Stave and Hoop.
I've never heard of this.
It feels like a little speakeasy. They had fucking dueling pianos, Byron.
Wow.
I'm going to give you 3 guesses to what song I requested. You had to pay $20 to request a song.
Worst opening to a
No,
show.
it's really good. I'm going to tell you what the piano guys said after I requested it. Because if you pay $20, they play it right away for you. Of course, that's what I did. I go, well, this is definitely the earliest in the night we've ever gotten this request.
What was it?
Come on.
I'm not going to guess. Gotta
Journey,
have faith.
Don't Stop Believing.
That's so corny.
Yeah.
You're corny, Kelly.
Yep. It was great. I'm going to take you there someday because I think you'd really like it. It's very fun.
I'm done talking about this.
It's a good spot.
It's fine.
It's a really good spot.
And I hate to energy suck this. This is someone's first episode.
I know, which is why I have to endear them to us.
Is that what this is?
Yeah. It's very endearing. It's like Ted Lasso.
But Ted Lasso, the whole point of the show is he's endearing.
Yeah,
That's not the point of this show.
It is the point
it's
of
to
this
talk
show.
about horror, hauntings, cryptids, conspiracies, and...
With endearing hosts.
All right. Well, great. Happy to be here with you.
MH370, though.
Great doc series.
Ladies and gentlemen, the captain has turned on the fasten seatbelt sign.
Planes go up, planes go down. What planes don't do is just vanish off the face of the earth.
We have breaking news. Malaysia Airlines confirms it has lost contact with a plane carrying 227 passengers.
It seems to have vanished into thin air.
What do we tell the family members? What do we tell the media?
My daughter asked me, "Where is Papa?" It's just so unimaginable.
I felt completely shattered. I lived in denial about the plane having some sort of crash.
What happens next is like a rip in the fabric of reality.
Theories about the missing plane are going viral.
It's possible it was hijacked. We don't know.
This very mysterious and very suspicious cargo.
The pilot's home flight simulator was removed by police.
I have the real evidence. It's there, and you can't deny that.
Never in history have 239 people been declared dead on the basis of mathematics alone.
some debris has been found.
Who planted there? Who brought the piece there?
Ils se foutent de nous. Ils se moquent de nous.
They are lying from the beginning. They are lying to the whole world.
MH370 is not just an unsolved mass murder. It's potentially an act of war.
How is it possible for an airline to disappear out of thin air?
Someone knows the answer.
Yeah, I'm very excited. So it's like 3 parts?
3 parts
Okay.
on Netflix. Can you believe way back? I think it was episode 16.
16 is my lucky number.
Yeah, right. I don't think we were really covering stories the same way. It was just specifically talking about the text messages that some people received after the MH370 plane disappearance.
Yes.
I'd love to revisit this topic and a handful of other topics.
I'm going to put a note in my book here.
I may have reached
Give me a
out.
pen. I need a pen.
Okay.
Give me a goddamn pen. Thank you.
Okay. To a journalist. So maybe we will be talking about this story pretty soon here with someone who knows.
Yeah, me.
Well, and a real journalist as well.
Okay, I am such a real journalist.
It seems like you're on your way. You were talking about
also
requesting FOIA documents.
Yeah. Oh, from like 6 different agencies.
Was it agencies? 6 different ones?
Oh, yeah. Because when you think about the cattle
agencies?
mutilation stuff, you've got
agriculture.
You've got agriculture. You've got CIA. You've got FBI. You've got NSA. You've got DIA. You've got
Food and Drug Administration.
Food and Drug Administration. I mean, it's huge. It's huge. And one of the things that I'm really coming to believe, there may be some people who actually know what's going on, but I've decided, especially after that whole balloon shit over America in recent months, I don't think that there's necessarily like a giant orchestrated cover-up. I think there's just a giant clusterfuck.
You think it's
I think that
incompetence?
Yeah, I do.
There's a lot going on.
Yeah, and I don't think it's nearly as in hand as we thought it was. I think we're kind of fucked. I'm getting a little bit more, I guess, pessimistic about that. But
there's a freedom in your face right now.
And I left the house, Byron.
No, that's exciting for you.
It is.
I think an upcoming, after we get done with our March Mildness bracket style competition, determine the best PG-13 horror film, which, on schedule, everyone's fucking mad at us.
Oh my gosh. Okay, what are they the most mad about from the first one? Tell me.
The fact that we haven't watched some of the movies. Of course, they're unhappy with some of the picks that we made. Some aren't even horror films, they're saying. They're more thrillers.
Like what?
I don't know.
All I know is I got a nice text from Jacob.
Yeah.
Who let me know there are certain things I needn't worry about if we have to go head to head.
Jacob's doing math over here. He sided with you 62.5% of the time that a tiebreaker was required.
Yeah, so he's getting smarter is what's happening.
Okay, be nice to our writer, Jacob.
I am. That was much meaner to you.
Yeah, that's true. So we're continuing down that journey.
Okay.
People are mad at us.
That's okay. People are always mad at me.
What was I going to bring up, though?
Are you going to bring up the fact that I turned 40?
No, you talked about that last time.
Yeah, but I wasn't 40. Now I am 40.
We don't need to keep talking about that. I feel like I was saying something before I brought this up.
No, I think it was how now I command respect because I am 40.
I don't think that's it.
I think it is. You sure?
Almost certain.
If it comes to you, let me know.
I guess it's time, Kelly.
Time for what?
For you to get back to work, because these DVD copies of Stuart Little are going to put themselves away.
It's a freaking classic.
It's time for staff picks.
It really is.
They say so much, but they never tell you if it's any good.
Werewolf movie with E.T.'s mom in it.
The Howling, horror straight ahead.
Oh, I love it.
2015 was a simpler time. Peak VOD. Quality films. I don't know what happened, but this guy.
You know this guy won the internet this week too, right?
Talking about Keanu Reeves' film Knock Knock.
Yeah, I'm talking about his puppy competition with Jimmy Kimmel this week where he ended up with a whole bunch of golden
I don't know what you're
retrievers,
talking about.
puppies on his lap.
Who's there? Yes?
We're so sorry to bother you, sir, but my phone got wet and she left hers at her house.
Well, if you guys want, you can come in and use my phone. Guys, I have your clothes. They're pretty much dry.
Surprise!
I can't do this. I'm married. Happily.
Yes, you can. Hey, it's all your secret. Just relax and enjoy it. I've been a very bad boy, Evan. Look what I found.
That's my daughter's. You take that off.
You like how it fits me, Daddy?
What do you want?
I want to play hide and seek.
30 seconds. You leave the house, I shoot.
Help me!
This is what happens when you break the rules of the game, Evan.
When a devoted husband and father is left home alone for the weekend, two stranded young women unexpectedly knock on his door for help. What starts as a kind gesture results in a dangerous seduction and a deadly game of cat and mouse. Cat and mouse. A sexy new thriller from director Eli Roth. Knock Knock stars Keanu Reeves as the family man who falls into temptation. Of course, we've got Lorenza Izzo, who I believe used to be Eli Roth's wife, no longer.
Smart lady, apparently.
That's not kind to say.
Tell me that's not true.
You don't know anything about Eli Roth.
So you were talking about two people who, like, I'm surprised that horrible things haven't come out about Eli Roth, but if horrible things came out about Keanu, it would be like the final straw of the apocalypse for me.
But I'm just saying, you don't need to pick one to be the bad guy.
I mean, he is, though.
No, he's not. What's the evidence of that?
You go ahead and...
It also stars Ana de Armas.
You mean amazing Marilyn Monroe?
Mm-hmm.
God, she was good.
Yeah. They turn this married man's dark fantasy into his worst.
Unwanted, inappropriate touching on sets and horror conventions.
Nightmare.
Eli Roth.
Where?
Well, Reddit, of course.
We'll get there eventually. I know we'll have a talk about this at some point.
We will.
Just give me 9 months.
Okay.
Okay,
I'm ready.
Jesus.
Got it.
Have you seen this?
Yeah, no.
It's actually really, really fun.
You actually tried to sell me on it at the time.
In 2015,
I'm not super opposed to it. It's just interesting because it's like, I love Keanu and I hate Eli.
Yeah.
So like it balances out in the middle somewhere. But now that I've got the...
Wait, since when do you hate Eli?
I've always hated Eli. Listen back to anything I've ever said about that man.
I think you've always been like, I don't know.
He's gross.
You like
I don't
Cabin
like him.
Fever, right?
Meh. I like Cabin in the Woods.
I know that we're on a cabin thing today. Different film. John Wick came out the year before this. I don't know if this was shot before it, but this was like right at the beginning of the Keanu full steam ahead, and I love it.
Keanu Renaissance is
and
glorious.
He does a wonderful job in this.
He's such a good fucking human
small
being.
cast, took place in a house like that. Prime optimized tense horror, silly enough that it felt kind of like that late 90s HBO era as well. Keanu does some goofy shit in this too. He has some like weird yelly moments that remind me of like...
It was free pizza! Free fucking pizza! It just shows up at my fucking door! What am I supposed to do?
Well, but it's good. It's like
we
the
be
old
honest?
Keanu.
Can we be honest? I love him.
Yeah.
Like, I honestly want to push a Keanu Brendan Fraser ticket for 2024, like real badly.
Okay.
He's just not a good actor. I
He
love
can be.
him.
I mean, yeah, I agree. Especially in interviews, he's probably one of the most reflective and
Such a
thoughtful.
good fucking human.
Yeah.
We need more of them.
True. I do love the John Wick films, and he doesn't say a lot in those.
No. It relies on all of the fun stuff around. He's great. I love him.
Yeah.
We need so many more of him, but he's just not a good actor. So that's one of the things that seems appealing about this movie to me, because it doesn't seem like it would rely upon him being some crazy thespian.
Yeah, and he kind of... I think this is the first Keanu that I saw where he plays more of like a family man, like an adult guy, not just a heartthrob. And I like it. Yeah, it's a cool movie.
Okay. Byron, my memory, never been good. I can't remember if we've talked about this on the show before, but this is a movie. It does show up as a horror on IMDb. I would describe it more as like a mystery thriller drama, but it does show up as a horror. Okay. Incredible cast, 2011. Jessica Chastain, Michael Shannon. Movie called Take Shelter.
What's the matter with you, Curtis? It sounds like thunder. What sounds like thunder?
I've been having these dreams. They always start with a kind of storm.
Missed you at church this morning, Curtis.
Thinking about cleaning up that storm shelter out back.
Where the hell have you been?
I know, I'm sorry. I had to run in here.
I'm gonna build out the tornado shelter in my backyard. I could use some help. The hell you want to do that for? This needs to be done.
You didn't say one word about this to me.
I didn't want you worrying about it. Samantha.
Are you out of your mind?
I'm doing this for us. I know you don't understand.
You want to waste money on a stupid tornado shelter?
Your mother was diagnosed with paranoid schizophrenia in her 30s.
I thought people were watching me and listening to me. Edward's been telling me how strange Curtis has been acting lately.
Is anyone seeing this? Tell people what you've been doing. I know, I'm sorry.
This is how you treat friends?
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Do you remember this one?
I do. I love this director.
It's a little bit similar to our movie tonight because it's all about, is there an apocalypse coming or is there not an apocalypse coming?
Sure.
The
Damn,
reason
this is a good one. Good pick, Kelly.
Yes, I told you I was in a good spot today.
Yeah.
40. I'm 40.
What's this?
The Molly Shannon, I'm 50.
Ah.
Yeah.
Don't know.
Saturday Night Live, old school.
Yeah.
I'm 50. 50 years old. I'll show it to you later.
No, you don't need to.
I will. It's a really interesting movie to me because I think it's actually more about the relationship between the husband and wife. You know, I've really gotten on the whole gaslighting train of that being a really heavy horror theme.
You sure have.
And this is kind of an interesting one because I don't want to say that Michael Shannon is being gaslit in the movie, but he is convinced of something. Everybody else thinks he's crazy, and he's trying to figure out whether he's crazy or whether he's not crazy.
Sure.
It ties to what we watched tonight, but I think it's a really beautiful movie, and there's interesting discussions about the end of it, which I'm obviously not going to spoil. You should watch it, and then you should read the discussions and what the director said. He was a very specific intent, but there are lots of different interpretations of the ending. Love the movie.
Jeff Nichols does an incredible job. Of course, I think most folks within the genre would point to Midnight Special.
Yep.
Which is fun.
Also Michael Shannon.
Kind of Amblin-y.
Yeah.
But for me, it started with Mud. It's a Matthew McConaughey film from
Do you know I still haven't seen that, but I've heard it's...
That was at South by Southwest, actually.
That was during the Matthew McConaughey Renaissance.
That's true.
Which is kind of over now, right? Like he's like going
fine.
politics or something now?
But yeah, Jeff is a very talented writer and director. Right now, he's in the middle of writing A Quiet Place Day One, which is a prequel.
Prequel.
Yeah.
Oh, I'll be on board for that with him. Wouldn't that be funny if that was the first one I saw?
I'm hoping that you check out some of these on the bracket.
I don't know. Now
here.
I kind of want to double down if people are pissed at me.
Please don't just like lean in, even though this is your contrarian year.
You know, it's also the year of the beef. We can, multiple people are going to have beef with me. I'm going to have beef with people.
Okay.
And I'm going to do a lot of reporting on beef.
That is true. I forgot about that.
I actually have a giant podcast playlist called Year of the Beef.
Very nice. Where you're manufacturing controversy for the sake of the show.
Yeah.
Very exciting stuff. Shotgun Stories, the first film by Jeff Nichols, though. Also check that out.
Ooh,
Very
never seen
good.
that one.
I think it's a Shannon as well.
This is Muse.
It is a young Shannon.
Incredible.
He's a flip phone guy.
The least typecast person ever.
Sure.
Who yet, despite playing all of these different roles, has this oddly similar approach to playing all of them. But they're wide variety of roles. Crazy variety of roles.
They're all pretty much Hank Hilly roles, though.
Did you see the newest David O. Russell? The one that had skinny, one-eyed Christian Bale and Denzel Washington's son.
Not Amsterdam.
Yeah, Amsterdam.
I did not see that.
So Michael Shannon had a really fun part in that felt very much out of his wheelhouse.
Well, that's good because it's got to be kind of boring. What's the cast of this thing?
Yeah, you should watch it.
Robbie,
Everybody
Taylor
hated
Swift.
It. I fucking loved it.
Rami Malek,
Loved
Anya
it.
Taylor-Joy. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, great.
Anyhow,
Kelly.
it's a great movie. If you haven't seen it, you should absolutely see it. Honestly, people are always asking us, like, oh, what's a good movie to watch with my partner who isn't super into horror? I think this is a great one because
Zoe
it's
Saldana?
romantic, too.
Wow.
Oh, yeah. I'm telling you, you got to watch it.
Well, good pick.
Thanks,
I
B.
appreciate that.
Thanks. I appreciate that.
Good film. Great work. But before we lock up, let's take a step into the back room.
Initiates?
Of course, it's time to welcome in initiates and new members into the Frightday Society.
And I can't assign them projects anymore. I'd really like somebody to get to the bottom of whether Eli Roth is bad or not.
I mean, people could certainly send us stuff. I'm very open to learning more. I just don't want to get in the habit of accusing people.
Oh, no, there are stories about him being a creeper. I mean,
Yeah.
we're not talking Weinstein level creeper, at least that has been reported. But I also don't think we're talking like, I don't know.
Michael M.
Oh, I thought maybe it was Michael Shannon, but
It's Michael Myers.
Oh.
That's what it says.
Really?
Yeah.
Welcome aboard.
Welcome aboard. Paid for the whole year. And I'd also like to point out a concerned citizen. Cogzilla.
Wait, what?
We have a level where people can just pay a little bit, and
you
remember that.
Yep.
So, Michael, I'm going to have you raise your left hand and repeat after me. I state your name. Promise to dedicate my available time to the exploration and advancement of the frightening. It is now my responsibility to be an example of rational curiosity, sympathy, and decency as I explore the macabre.
Welcome aboard.
Welcome aboard.
Friend.
And if you want to be part of the Frightday Society, what do you do, Kelly?
You pay money?
Okay, you go to thefrightdaysociety.org.
Yeah.
And you can sign up for $6.66 a month, and when you do that, you get access to over 200 pieces of bonus content at this point.
There's more coming. You should see my list. And now, I don't know if I've even talked about this, Byron, but in my other life, I have an incredible business manager that's been working for me, and now I was just thinking about this today. I feel like much more bandwidth to work on some things.
Okay.
So I think there's some shit coming.
What does that mean?
It means I'm going to start recording my own episodes and then just giving you SD cards to upload.
Just tossing the audio.
Well,
that might
Are
be...
you excited for
No,
this?
not even a little bit. But folks at home, I mean, we're in the middle of March Mildness. If you want to listen to all of those episodes, that's the place for it. And there's also our conversation all about the director we're talking about tonight, M. Night Shyamalan, a whole bunch of stuff at thefrightdaysociety.org. Check it out.
Yes.
Just when you thought cabin horror was done.
Hasn't even started.
Well, it has.
Hasn't started.
I think we're near the tail end of it.
Not started.
But we'll talk about that more in just a second as we review Knock at the Cabin.
We hope you're enjoying your visit here this evening. Now, on with the show.
Knock at the Cabin is a 2023 American apocalyptic psychological horror film written and directed by M. Night Shyamalan, based on the 2018 novel The Cabin at the End of the World by Paul G. Tremblay. While vacationing at a remote cabin in the woods, a young girl and her parents are taken hostage by 4 armed strangers who demand they make an unthinkable choice to avert the apocalypse. Confused, scared, and with limited access to the outside world, the family must decide what they believe before all is lost. It's M. Night, which, I don't know if I've mentioned this before, Kelly. I just realized likely stands for midnight.
No, it doesn't.
What's it stand for?
What's his real name?
Manoj Neliatu Shyamalan?
I mean, maybe. I don't know.
I think it was given to him when he went to film school, something like that.
Do you know he wears suits?
Suit. I mean, I've seen him in a suit, yeah.
No, but I mean, like, on set, like, while he's directing, he wears a suit every day.
Yeah, who started that? I can't remember. I know Sam Raimi wears a suit as well.
Yep, I believe that Kubrick used to.
Yeah, that could have been it. I mean, they do it because they're going to work.
Respect for the cinema.
Yeah.
My friend.
Also, everyone should know that M. Night co-wrote the script for Stuart Little.
Oh, did he?
Sure did.
Oh,
yeah,
see, that's such a cooler reference than I thought it was, Byron. Good on you.
I don't do anything
good on you
for no reason.
I know it's true.
We did an entire behind the screens, like I mentioned, about M. Night. It's available for society members at thefridaysociety.org, and I'm going to link it directly in the show notes. But yeah, this was an adaptation of a 2018 novel, The Cabin at the End of the World, by Paul Tremblay, who actually, he signed in like a film option for the book before it even came out.
Whoa.
Yeah, in late 2017, and he had to keep it secret that this film was based on one of his novels until July 2022.
Oh,
The script based on his book was on the blacklist, which of course is It's a list every year they
Most
do.
Most wanted. Isn't it weird that it's called
not
the blacklist? Because the opposite.
Well, it's films that directors and industry folks believe
fighting over.
Well, it's not even that.
They're going to murder each other for?
It's the best unproduced scripts, and usually it's unproduced for a reason. Like, it's good, but it's difficult.
Mm-hmm.
So this was on that list, and M loved it and was initially just set to act as producer. And then
decided he needed to play a bit part as on an infomercial.
Well, of course he did.
That was his GM.
He also decided that after he rewrote it, that he wanted to direct it.
I love it.
This is the second film in his partnership with Universal and his company called Blinding Edge Pictures, which I don't love. Old was the first film as part of this deal, and Old was a stinker. So this one...
I never saw it.
It's not good.
Well, I really like this one.
Well...
so maybe I'll just skip it then.
Jesus Christ. I guess they needed this. I'm sure that if this was a bomb, I don't think Universal would continue working with M. Night. And they also... they already have kind of a weird relationship. Like the last films, like he had to self-finance after he had a couple of stinkers.
I just love how much he loves movies. Like
it seems like he does, yeah.
I've got some beef with
this movie. He also likes
movie.
Actors, though, here.
Yeah.
Casting trickled out from December 2021 through July 2022. Dave Bautista, Rupert Grint, Nikki Amuka Bird, Ben Aldridge, John Groff, and Abby Quinn. I need
somebody to tell me. I'm just going to start out with the mean.
You're going to pick on someone?
I am going to.
Tell me why.
I want somebody to tell me how Andrew was cast.
Ben Aldridge?
Yeah, I got some beef.
You don't like Daddy Andrew. Thank you. Well, we'll talk about it in just a second. However... And when he saw Dave Bautista in Blade Runner 2049, he knew he needed him in a film. I've never seen that movie.
No, but Sam, it's actually one of Sam's favorites, and I need to watch it with him because I haven't seen it either.
Yeah. What state does M. Night love more than any?
Pennsylvania.
Of course he does.
You know what state he hates, apparently, is Oregon.
Oh, that's interesting.
On the...
Oh, the coast there.
Yep.
M didn't shoot this in Pennsylvania, though.
Oh, where did he?
Burlington County, New Jersey, which is basically Pennsylvania.
I was going to say, is that 12 feet away from Pennsylvania?
Give me 1 sec. Hey, Oliver? Oliver, there's no one there, bud. I need you to relax for me. Sit. It's just east of Philadelphia.
Got it.
I don't know if I've probably hung around there, but a little bit. This film is also rated R, which rules. It's the second of his film after his best film, The Happening.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Remember, The Happening had the tigers ripping arms off and people flying through cars and shooting each other.
It's not even on my top 3 of his.
Shooting themselves in the head. Pardon me. It's a movie about making you kill yourself. So
yeah,
underrated film.
Okay.
You just saw this. I saw it in the theater. Perfect film, Kelly, to see in the theater.
I agree.
Holy cow.
I agree. I don't disagree.
Well, you watched on a laptop computer?
Actually, I watched it on my big screen like this.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
It is available now on VOD streaming platforms, all that junk. And I think it's about to come to Peacock. Very exciting.
Yeah. I was actually, whatever, it was podcast money. I was very happy to pay to rent it. It was one of those movies that made me feel good that I was contributing to.
How much did you pay for it?
$20.
$20? Thanks a lot, Patreon patrons.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. I don't think we have a company Peacock subscription.
I think we do. When I went through our...
I think we probably got it for Halloween, and they've just been taking our money.
And we haven't been watching it.
God damn it.
We need to get that credit card thing where, you can't...
It lets you know, and you can click a button. Whatever. Yeah.
Anyhow.
Yeah, so you had a fun time. You just watched it. I watched it when it initially came out opening weekend.
Which is great, and you're cooler.
I was going to say you might need to refresh my memory.
I will refresh your memory. Here's my quick memory that I need to give you. Daddy Eric, played by Jonathan Groff, who actually played Smith in the newest iteration of The Matrix last year.
Thumbs up.
I liked it. A lot of people didn't. I liked it, but I'm also not like a crazy diehard Matrix. I just thought it was fun.
Sure.
However, Daddy Andrew was not a good actor or was just given really shitty lines. I bounced back and forth.
Yeah.
Now, there's this certain layer of cheese that is applied to all M. Night movies. Like, he is a little cheesy, and it's one of the things that I love about him. Like, there's a very specific tone to M. Night movies.
I was going to say, it reminds me of, I already talked about it a little bit, the Knock Knock, like, equivalent of this late 90s, early 2000s HBO thing.
And there's it's almost like a little kid's overlay, which, by the way, I'm trying to figure out why the fuck this is rated R.
I don't know. They said for strong language and violence, I think.
Okay, because
I'll dig into
I'm
that
going to go
real
ahead
quick.
and say right now, my first note about this movie, Byron, was, in quotes, piece of crap. Because...
You thought it was a piece of crap?
No, because Daddy Andrew, when the home invaders come in, calls one of them a piece of crap. Oh. I mean, normally I don't dislike PG-13 movies, but that felt awkward. And then I found out it was R. I'm like, what the
Was he talking in front of his daughter, though?
Yeah, but I'm sorry. Like,
Kelly, a lot of people don't talk like that.
when it's an emergency situation, nobody's watching their swearing.
Yeah, there's a... why don't we start at the top?
That bothered me.
Yeah, that makes sense. Wen.
Great child actor.
Played by Kristen Quay. Incredible child actress. And great way to start this thing. Collecting bugs. I used to do this in my grandma's backyard. Except I would hurt the bugs later.
And then this giant man with tattoos came up to talk to you?
That never happened. Leonard, though. Sharply, dapper-dressed, ripped gentleman, played by none other than Dave Bautista.
There's actually a really cute interview of him talking about specifically acting with Kristen.
Holy shit,
and how cool she was to act with. He's just...
Immediately, just magnetic.
He's so good. I love that man.
I don't know why. I just haven't had a lot of Dave in my life.
He's not in a ton of stuff that is
look
in
at
our...
these credits, though.
Yeah, but like most of the stuff that he's in...
Drax, of course, in Guardians of the Galaxy.
Right.
And that performance is fun, but it's so different and limiting.
Yeah.
He does a lot with it, and he's oftentimes one of the funniest parts of those movies.
But a lot of them are like the cheesy action flicks that we don't necessarily get into.
Yeah.
He was apparently in the What We Do in the Shadows TV show,
Really?
which we need to watch.
I made it through a couple.
I haven't tried any, so I can't say that I didn't. I mean, he was a wrestler.
No, yeah.
Surely, right? Like, that's where he started?
Yeah, WWE heavyweight champion. Did incredible work there.
Yeah, I mean, like, all of the wrestling crap and then Riddick, these are not really my types of films.
I didn't make it past Pitch Black in the Riddick franchise. I think I played the video game maybe for a second with some friends, but...
Yeah.
I mean, he's incredible. I was blown away.
Loved him.
Just like you said, when he was talking about acting with her or towards her, he treats her so differently.
Oh, he's amazing. He's just one of those people. He's like Keanu. You hear him interviewed and you're like, man, the world needs more of these people.
Well, let's pump the brakes on that.
Oh, no.
No, just his character in this film.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, so the impression you get immediately is that he's probably going to kidnap and molest this girl. Except you know that it's an M. Night movie, so that's not the direction.
I didn't feel creepy. You felt like it was creepy?
Well, anytime there is a large man that approaches a child and says, I want to be friends.
Yeah, I knew the turn was going to happen, but I didn't get like an uncomfortable sense of creepiness, though, which I think was kind of cool because it leaves it up to the audience to be like, when is that going to happen? When is that foot going to drop?
Yeah. How old do you think Bautista is?
Oh, goodness. 45?
55.
Wow. Looks great.
Well, 54.
Leonard's not by himself. He's with Sabrina, Adrian, and Redmond.
What I thought was interesting is when Wen sees the other people coming.
Well, were they carrying their weapons?
Yeah, and he immediately lets her know, these aren't my friends. They're more like people I work with.
Yeah.
And I am your friend. I want you to remember that no matter what.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, oh, okay, interesting. Huh.
I mean, as we go through this movie, I think we're going to find the through line of he's a very genuine person.
Very genuine. Very, very genuine.
However, and I mean, I guess technically they have no intention of harming the family. Technically.
Yeah, I mean, that is actually the case.
Leonard and his pals. Let's walk through them. Sabrina, Nikki Amuka Bird. She's a nurse who's joined this group of associates.
I love her. The thing most recently that I know her from is Avenue 5. I believe it was canceled, but it was a cheesy like yacht spaceship comedy on HBO.
Oh, sure.
With House.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I can't talk in any other terms.
It's fine.
So
She's a very talented actor.
She's phenomenal. Very much enjoy her, and I thought she did a really good job in this as well. Apparently, she was an old, but again, I didn't see that.
And the remake of The Omen way back in 2006.
Ooh, okay, all right. Adrian, played by Abby Quinn, actually was in a Blum horror flick called Torn Hearts, which I haven't seen.
I spared you from this one, I think.
Okay.
I like Bria Grant. She was an incredible podcaster, and she's done some really great directing work as well.
But this wasn't it?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Katie Siegel was in it.
Saw that.
It seemed like, Blum is diversifying. They have their Epic deal, and then they have this almost like direct-to-TV style imprint as well, and I think that this was part of that. It just didn't seem to be too terribly interesting to me.
Okay, which is fine.
Yeah.
But I think she's doing some horror stuff. I think she's got another one coming out that looks horror-y as well. Hell of a Summer.
I don't think I know anything about that.
It has Finn Wolfhard, and it's a comedy horror.
Where's that guy been?
I mean, I think he did a lot of time filming the most recent season of Stranger Things. But other than that, I'm not entirely sure.
She seems like she's been through a lot. Waitress at like a Waffle House.
She likes cooking for people, serving people food.
Oh gosh, I forgot about these moments.
Yeah. Or what did she said something really poignant about like it feels like I'm doing more than just feeding them or something like that. It was very sweet.
And finally we've got Rupert Grint, who plays Redmond.
With the exact same accent he brings to the table in Servant, I
You
noticed.
think so?
Yeah,
no, I think
accent.
he was doing Boston. I think in Servant I wouldn't even say Philly. I'd say like, I don't know, not good. He tries to gruff it up in this, and he doesn't do it very good.
I mean, he reminded me. I thought he was great.
You thought Grint killed it in this thing?
I don't think he killed it, but I think he did a good job, and his character was an interesting one because there was an unexplained connection there that we still never really quite got there.
Sure, which it kind of leaves it up to the audience to determine what's real. I'd say Grint was worse than Daddy Andrew, in my opinion.
Oh, nobody was worse than Daddy Andrew.
I guess we need to talk about that at this point. Yeah, Daddy Andrew and Daddy Eric are the fathers to Win.
Yep. And I found myself watching moments in this movie and feeling like I was criticizing things that I'm sure are true about myself as well. There was just a lot of trope for same-sex couple dialogue. They really played heavy this Daddy Eric and Daddy Andrew thing, which I am...
Do your daughters call your grandparents something different?
They call it, there's Grammy, and there's Grandma, and there's Jetto, and there's Grandpa.
Okay.
Which, whatever, I'm not saying that there aren't tons of families that do that, but it just felt very heavy-handed, and like the lines about...
I think where it became heavy-handed is when the four refer to the men as Daddy Andrew and Daddy Eric instead of Eric and Andrew.
You know how we've watched some movies recently and noted how great it is that it doesn't seem like it's a thing? It's just like, it's no different than having a hetero couple. Like, it's just the same thing. It's no big deal. I felt like this was making such a production of it and made it part of the storyline with...
But I think that's one of the things that they do want. Eric's impression, they are being targeted, is part of the story as well.
But I felt like that could have been done way more tastefully and subtly.
Or almost just like as an assumption.
Right. It was just, it felt too expository, I guess.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah. But also, I know that that's kind of just the mode that M. Night kind of does stuff in, so I shouldn't be that
and I don't. It's definitely not a negative
No,
representation.
not at all. Not at all. Just very stereotypical.
Sure.
Yeah, I don't think it was a negative stereotype. I think it was just very stereotyped.
Wen runs to her daddies and tells them that these people are coming and they all need to get inside. They lock up and they refuse to go away. In fact, they make themselves at home by breaking in, which it's interesting.
They try not to.
They try not to, and that's the weirdest thing
Leonard,
about...
oh man, he's trying to talk through, and it's interesting. You find out his background is
10th grade teacher?
No, littler. It was like a second, maybe.
Maybe I think it was second grade. You're right. But he was a basketball coach as well.
And that's the tone he brings to everything. He's trying so hard, and like there's one place where he raises his voice and yells, and then he's like apologetic for yelling. you knew that there was something interesting going on from the get-go. And I think for me...
Well, these aren't your typical people to be doing a home invasion.
No, not at all.
It's reluctant, but it feels important.
Very, I would say.
There's an urgency to it, but also a hesitation, which is tough. Some people are going to make fun of us for talking so much about this movie because it didn't get like universally praised at all.
No, not at all. And I don't know.
I just think that there was some actually like pretty decently nuanced performances. And I mean, we've also pointed out some very stilted things like the dialogue and some of the characters.
But to me, the overall piece was strong enough that it was good despite those things.
Sure.
For me, at least.
You want to talk about why these folks are here?
So they're all here because they have had common visions that the world is going to end, and that the only way that can be averted is if one of these three people, so Andrew, Eric, and Wen, if one of them is killed by the others intentionally as a sacrifice.
Yeah.
Byron, very weird aside, but
Did you and Sam decide which one of your children?
It would be me that would need to get sacrificed for sure in terms of like who's going to be useful.
You wouldn't be able to make it afterwards.
Fuck no. Like if I was the one that killed Sam, like I may as well be killing the children too because they're done for. I don't.
Yeah.
In a survival situation, I'm sorry. I love my babies so much, and I would do everything I could, but everything I can would fail. So
you'd do okay for a while.
I'd be okay in like civilization.
Yeah.
Post civ.
Well, I mean, I don't know if we're necessarily...
Well, anyhow, I've been listening to a lot of cattle mutilation stuff, and there's some really weird theories concerning sacrifices with cattle mutilations. That was immediately where my brain went with this, which will make more sense when I do some of those cattle mutilation reports. But I have all these hang-ups like, okay, according to who? And who's doing all of this? And is this supposed to be like a God-related thing? Like the semantics and the logistics, which I shouldn't have even paused on, because M. Night, his whole purpose is always to circumnavigate that stuff. You just have to accept it as like, this is what it is, or this is what it isn't. And in terms of logistics being the explanation for why it is or isn't, it's a waste of energy. Who decided this and why these people and all of those things that if it was a report I was doing on something real, I would be like diving into the weeds with.
I mean, his references are all, for the most part, biblical, even though he's not religious.
Although I do have one thing post-spoilers that I want to question. Yeah, and so they've got to willingly kill one of the others, otherwise the world is going to end. And every time they say no to killing one of the others, one of the four who showed up at the cabin gets sacrificed, and a plague is released on humanity.
That's my favorite part.
Big shocker there.
Of course. Yeah. I mean, we don't really want to... Let's not talk about the order that this happens.
Yeah, that's fine.
Does that seem reasonable to
It is
do
fine.
like
I do
that?
think we need to talk about the Oregon coast, though. Fucked up my beach, man.
I know.
Yeah.
That's the first time that humanity has been judged, and then poof.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah. Although... Oregon coast, Byron, you know this, it's never that warm.
No, what are people out in the water?
Yeah,
come on,
without
now.
wetsuits.
I need
are you
a
fucking
coat.
kidding me?
I need boots.
That's why you love it.
I do exactly.
Yeah.
No, so I do love the weapons that they all come with.
They had to make them.
I don't know if that's a reference to something. In the way that they sacrifice these people, they do like cool camera tricks that follow the weapons. The violence is slightly obscured, which is interesting that it is rated R, because
it seems like the weirdest R rating.
For some reason, there's a tension in these moments, and it usually, it's like almost like a drum roll tension getting to the proof of the plague. I found that was the most interesting part of this, is like they're waiting, watching a TV for something to happen to display just exactly what they've caused. And the first one, like you said, was the earthquake off the west coast of the United States.
Yeah, so there was one earthquake, and then there was another one, and there was a giant tsunami. And Andrew is very cynical. Andrew's the Sam in the situation, obviously.
He does a good job of being a Sam.
Yeah. He immediately says, yeah, I don't really give a shit. You're crazy, but even if you weren't crazy, I'm still not killing. Like, I don't care if the rest of humanity dies. Humanity sucks.
Yeah.
I'm not killing the only two decent humans that are out there, which is my child and my husband. He's not going to do anything, but he also keeps pointing out the holes. Like, okay, the first earthquake struck 4 hours ago. It was before you guys got here. You knew.
Yeah.
And so you're staging this.
We talk about the next one.
Yeah, the next one was an actual virus.
Which is very similar to COVID-19.
And it had been going around, although it was very deadly to children, this one specifically.
Yeah, this one was real mean.
He says, this has been around.
I heard about this last week.
Right. Like, I've been talking about this. We knew about this. Again, you are just trying to convince us of something that isn't real. You're full of shit.
And bodies are dropping as these things are happening.
And you can see Eric, his husband, start going, but he also has
He had a brutal head
concussion.
injury.
Which, by the way, when he falls and gets that concussion, why are his eyes open and he's not talking, but he's just laying there? That was very
You think your
weird.
eyes close when you get concussion? Not every time.
Well, either you're out of it or you're in it, but like, if you're awake, why wasn't he responding?
You don't just close your eyes when you're not responding. You can go unconscious with your eyes open.
Seems weird, can you?
Yeah.
I mean, I know you can die with your eyes open, but the go unconscious with your eyes open?
Oh, most certainly.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
It's not something I've contemplated before.
It's your body short-circuiting. Come on now. The third one is the most fucked up one. Is there anything that happens in between that we need to talk about? I don't know.
Strawberry Shortcake.
Strawberry Shortcake.
She's watching Strawberry Shortcake. I thought that was interesting because I loved
is that a real
when I was
show?
little. Yeah, it was a real show. The Peculiar Purple Pie Man from Porcupine Peak.
I've heard you say that before. Very nice.
Yep.
A lot of character work in between here. Dialogue is fine. I don't know.
It
I can't.
gets
Nothing
better
really
as
stands
the
out.
movie goes along.
Sure.
The beginning dialogue was way worse to me. I felt like the relationship between the husbands felt very stilted at the beginning, which was rough because that buying into that was really essential for the movie, which I totally bought into later on once we got past the initial dialogue.
I think there was a cool conversation between Daddy Eric is the one with the head injury, right? And Sabrina in the bathroom. Everything's coming through the mirror. It's just really well framed. It looks really
well
cool.
framed. Yep.
The third one,
Are
though.
we gonna do spoilers?
It's time for dead giveaways. This is the point in the show where we spoil parts of a movie, and this thing, Knock at the Cabin, is available now for everyone to see. Just pay some money on the internet, or if you have an indie theater that's still playing this kind of thing, maybe, who knows? But check it out, because we're going to talk some spoilers. Third time humanity's been judged?
All the planes start falling out of the sky.
That's fucked up and scary.
So fucking scary.
I have dreams like this.
I mean, you think about how fucking terrifying 9/11 was. Instead of that, it's hundreds of planes.
Maybe low thousands.
Yeah,
right?
low thousands of planes just dropping like flies everywhere.
The way gravity's working isn't working the same anymore.
Oh.
Yeah.
Unsettling.
It's really hard to not believe at this point.
Right, because clearly...
However, we're pretty invested in not believing it.
Andrew's very invested in not believing.
Eric thinks he saw something behind Bautista.
What was that supposed to be? Like God?
Jesus? I don't know. Something like that.
I don't know that we should do many more giveaways. Like, what do we do
we
past
just do
this?
One? All right, well...
Let me tell you this. I don't want to tell anybody else how the movie ends.
Yeah.
But after it's over, you should go look up what the original ending to the story was.
Very misty.
The movie ending is very different.
Yeah.
I like both for different reasons. I would love to hear from all of you whether you think Shyamalan should have kept the book ending or gone with the alternate version that he did.
Facebook group. Facebook.com/group/Frightday.
Are you killing that?
Discord, yeah, discord.frightday.com is where I'd prefer, but at Frightday on Twitter and Instagram. Let's talk about it.
Or email me, Kelly@frightday.com. I love email dialogue.
Yeah. Do you have any as above, so below as a high and a low?
Yeah, I do. So my low, you piece of crap, delivered by
Can't let that
Daddy
go.
Andrew. It was very weird and not natural. My favorite part was when Leonard was showing Andrew the picture of his basketball team and explaining how bad they were, but how much joy they had. And that was why he was trying to stop this from happening. I thought that was really meaningful. I really liked Bautista there. What about you, B?
My high, 2 words, Dave Bautista. Incredible. Throughout this, his character is just so consistent and grows as well. Like as you get to know him, like you truly do lock in with him. And he's tasked with a very difficult thing. But Leonard, he doesn't break from his mission. He's a great example of empathy, and I really enjoyed his performance. My low, though, the ending. It just felt really obvious and a little bit corny. And I don't know if I felt the same thing with Infinity Pool minus the corny part. I think maybe my expectations of wrapping up a film have changed.
I thought the end worked. I wouldn't say it was like amazing,
If-
but also Shyamalan,
It's been a while since he's been able to pull that off.
yeah, I think he's got to do 3 or 4 of these without a twist before he throws another twist at us.
I'm not looking for a twist. I'm just looking
I'm
for
always looking for a
like
twist.
some sort of like resolution beyond like what
Yeah.
could have been thought of at the very beginning.
Fair.
Yeah.
Fair.
It hit my sweet spot of casual horror watching. Sometimes you need to be in a theater to watch like a silly horror film, and that's exactly what happened the night that I saw it. Great performances. One character I had higher expectations for, but was removed very quickly.
Yeah.
That was a little disappointing, but it's fine.
That's fine.
He's taken steps away from the mess that was old, and for that reason, I will continue watching M. Night Shyamalan.
I'll never
films.
give up on that, man.
I'm really enjoying this season of Servant, even though it continues to be so much different.
We've only watched the first episode. I'm way behind.
Yeah, it's okay. Though you can't beat that first season.
This is the last one, right?
This is the last
Okay.
one, I believe.
Okay.
But yeah, for all those reasons, I give Knock at the Cabin 5.9 jars of grasshoppers.
That's good. This was very fun, and I haven't seen, I think, the last couple M. Night films. I was really glad that I watched this. I'm also glad that I went in without extreme expectations, because that always helps. Take my opinion with a grain of salt to avoid having high expectations. But I give Knock at the Cabin 8.1 fingerprint gun safes.
And those are our thoughts on Knock at the Cabin, which is available now. Again, VOD, check it out. Once you have, let us know what your thoughts are. You could reach us at Frightday on Twitter and Instagram, frightday.com. Contact@frightday.com is our email address. Leave a comment below this episode's show notes on frightday.com or in our Facebook group while you can. Facebook.com/group/Frightday, or we could do it in Discord, discord.frightday.com. That's where I prefer to do that. If you like our show and want to help us make it even better, grab something spooky at shop.frightday.com. It's spring. Spring has sprung, so spring into it with a new shirt.
Yes.
Great.
Swag.
Okay. Spring into it with swag?
Yeah.
Why not? I'm on vacation, fuckers.
He is.
This is my first vacation I've been on, I think, in 15 years.
You gotta do
it more.
So, like, you aren't actually going to do any work. There's
Nope.
no.
Michelle's making me leave my laptop at home. I'm gonna be iPad
her
only.
Heart.
I am gonna be reading a little bit on the plane
murdering?
in Palm Springs and Joshua Tree, but
Do you need me to give you some cattle mute
you
books?
don't think I have? I've got enough books that I need to.
But
be
I need you
reading.
to be
I don't
studied up
need
on some cattle
Nah,
mutes.
it's okay. I got stuff to read. But Kelly, until next week, where are you gonna be?
I'm going to be at Kelly Frightday on Twitter, but probably not because fuck Elon Musk.
Great.
And you can email me, kelly@frightday.com. And
Rumble, Truth Social,
Yeah.
Parlor.
I'm going to be digesting
Gab.
the Lex Friedman, Sam Harris interview.
I'm at Byron McKoy on Twitter and Instagram. Byron@Frightday.com is my email address. And until next episode of Frightday, I'm Byron.
I'm Kelly.
Stay judged.
Sure.
And stay scared. You've been listening to an Audio Wall original, produced by Byron McKoy. Theme music provided by Cemeteries. For more programs like this, visit audiowall.co.